Good morning. Today's the 5th of February 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan for today. Before we start, let's take a look, see what news we've got coming in today. Nothing major until 10 AM, so keep an eye 10 AM in a trade. That's PMI. We've also got some Fed speaker at 2 o'clock today, which could move the market. Also 9:45 PMI as well, so keep an eye on that. That's not for another 45 minutes. Okay, so on my screen is the ES or the MES, which is the E-mini S&P 500 index futures, and I've just added a new indicator today, only because I normally manually draw in my pre-market highs and lows, and this indicator, which I'm going to add it into one of my own indicators, it's called key levels, and it's quite useful to just mark up yesterday's high and low during the market, and also pre-market high and lows, as one of my strategies relies on pre-market highs and lows. I thought it's quite a useful indicator. So on the subject of pre-market highs, my first level I'm watching today is going to be the break and retest of the pre-market high, and that will be 49.75.50. Quite like that area, and we've got a possible target as well as Friday's highs, which is the all-time highs as well at 49.97. So that's one of my main watches for today: pre-market high, break and retest, and a target at the all-time highs. My next watch involves all-time highs, and it's watching for a rejection, but with confirmation at 5,000, which is kind of where we got to. And what I'll be looking for will be a topping tail candle with a body and ideally high volume. So if we've got average volume and we want to see it come into that area on high volume to show that there's sellers at that level. And then I'll be looking for confirmation, the break of that candle, and potentially even a second lower high or a confirmation candle for either an add or a better entry, or a more safe entry, lower risk entry, shall I say. So that's kind of what I'm watching for today. Rejection on the all-time highs. Bear in mind that'll be going against a trend, and we had all-time highs from last week, and we kind of touched it, rejected it, but we didn't really reject it. And then on Friday we sold off and then broke back through it. So we could see something happen today, come down, reject it, and then go right through it again. So I believe that history likes to repeat itself, and we could see it happen again. As for us being in this uptrend, I want to watch for a trend entry, hence the pre-market high, break or retest. But if we see it selling off, then I quite like the entry down at 49.58 area, which is the tops of the previous all-time highs. This area here, and I want to see if I can come back down into that area. Potentially, we have the 50 moving average coming up to align with it, and we do have an old demand zone. I'm going to get rid of that because it's not what I want to see there now. The new demand zone is probably here, so there's a big demand zone. Let's put that in. So that's the area, and happens to be Friday's lows as well. That's it really. So I'm basically watching 49.58 for a bounce, and that's a zone that will be, so it'll be 49.58 all the way through to 49.60 area, that area really. It's just this area I'm watching for potential bounce, and that's only because we've got tops of candles. And then if we do see a bit of a sell-off, then I'll be watching the lows from Friday and the bottom of that demand zone, and where this 200 moving average will meet up in that area. I'll be watching for a bounce at 49.30. So that's basically my plan for today. Quick, keep it nice and simple. Break and retest of the pre-market highs. If we pull back down into this area, I'm looking for a bounce at 49.58, and if we continue to sell off, then I'll be looking for a bounce in this area of demand between 49.28 and 49.34. So that's my bounces. Rejection wise, the only rejection I would even consider taking will be with confirmation at the all-time highs, which is 49.97, 49.98 area, or the 5,000, which is a round psychological number. So if we come into that area again, I'll be looking for a push through, top and tail, high volume. On the level 2, I'll be looking for lots of sellers to be up this level as well. And then when I know there's lots of sellers, then I'll be looking for confirmation, the break of that candle, or the pull back into the area for a retest, and then for the load down. That's kind of how I want to play rejection for all-time highs. I may get in with a single contract once it's put in a top and tail, or 1 or 2 contracts, because I've got a defined stop loss in, but it has to be with confirmation. So let's look at SPY. Similar play to ES. So look for a bounce off of this area here, 49, 491.57, 491.60, this area here. And again, we can watch for firstly a break and retest of pre-market highs, or the rejection at 496, which is the previous Friday's high. And if we see a sell-off, I'll be looking for a bounce at this area of confluence. We've got tops of candles, bottoms of candles, tops of candles, bottoms of candles. So it's quite a major area. You can see just below there's quite a bit of volume as well. So I'll be looking for a bounce in this area, 488 to 489. That's it for SPY. Next, looking at Qs. Qs. 423.20 through to 424 for a potential bounce. I do quite like that. We've got a curve in 50 moving average, and we've got a rise in 200 moving average. So coming into that area adds extra support. And we've got this area here, bottoms of candles, tops of candles, bottoms of candles. So that's my prime area to watch for, that area, 423. I don't take it Qs, I'll be taking it on NASDAQ. And that will probably look very similar. I've got some levels already created. So this area here, 17,494 for a bounce. Pre-market high break and retest. Bearing in mind we've got a little bit of quite a lot of volume up in this area as well. So potentially a target all-time high or Friday's highs. And then if we get back down to this area, I quite like the bounce off of 17,267, which comes in there. There's not much volume there though, so I'm basically going because we had a big reaction last time we came down to that area. That's it for Qs. Oil, still in an hourly down trend. Add this head and shoulders pattern. Head, shoulders, the break, the retest, where we talked about this I think last Thursday, and that sold off. That's a great sell off. So that's a good play. I didn't take it myself, but that's an area we were watching. The reason I didn't take it, I prefer to see it come down further, then come back up into the neckline, but it didn't really break down through the neckline. It kind of created another bounce area, but it's definitely a semi-valid pattern. So I wouldn't have taken it because it wasn't the pattern I was looking for. For bounces, we could watch. It's quite a messy chart. For the most touches, probably 70, 50 for potential bounce around that area. And again, if we get back down to this area, which is 68, then we're looking for a bounce around that area. Rejection wise, if we get back up into the 78 area, sorry, did I say 76? I meant 68 down to this area, and 78 up in this area, look for a potential rejection coming into there again, or look for a bounce coming into that area. At the moment, I don't see anything really. It's quite a messy chart. I just want to see it. I wanted to see it break out over this range. It's been in this range now since December, end of November. It hasn't really broken that range. That's the area we're kind of watching it to break out through. if we can get above 80, then we can hopefully put in a new uptrend. Or if we can get back down below 70, we can look for a bounce. But keep an eye on that though. Gold is next. This is the daily. So let's look at the daily gold while we're there. Oh. Let's get back. Potential head and shoulders pattern. This is the neckline, left shoulder, head. Not a very good right shoulder. We've broken down through it. If we can pull down, pull back up into this area, you could potentially look for a short. Again, it's in this range. Volume on the sell-off there. Bit of volume coming in. Nothing real decent to watch really. Again, it needs to break out of this range. The only play I can see, let's go back into the hourly now. So the hourly looks a bit better than the daily. We can watch for a potential bounce in this area right now. 2028, 2030. So it's area confluence as well, but not as much volume as we had above. I suppose, hang on, let's just update. There is a bit of volume there. So we can watch for a bounce at 2028. If we can break down below these pivots, we've got a bit of a void until we get down to 2014 to 2010. And then we can watch for another bounce around this area here. So that's kind of the areas we can watch for. As for rejections, if we can get back up into this area, 2070 to 2080, watch for a rejection. The Russell 2000, big sell-off last week, tried to recover, couldn't quite keep it. Head and shoulders pattern, don't really like it. I like to see it at the top of a move, like there, not midway down, so it's not about pattern I'm looking for. Watch for a bounce at 1940 to 1943, and if we can break this downward trend line, let's draw it in, then we may see a bit of a reversal change. And you can probably see the pattern which is forming, kind of like that. So we've got this descending wedge pattern, and we can either see it break down through this area, we can watch for a play there, or break up into that area. So maybe watch for a break of structure on this one. And then last but not least, I know we've got one more after this actually, we've got Dow Jones Industrial hitting all-time highs again, like descending volume down, declining volume, and showing signs of ending because we've got these topping tails. This is the 4 hours, look at the 1 hour. So let's go for bounce around that area. So like the bounce at 38,464 to 38,500. And we've obviously got the rejection up on the all-time highs, and a break and retest potentially of this area here to go get above that pivot. Break, retest with a short move long, so I'll be watching it on a 5-minute chart. But the major area I'm watching for bounce is going to be down at this area, 38,300. And then potentially down, further down at that area there. So these are the areas I've got to watch. I will put some alerts in here, but I'm watching for rejection, double top at all-time highs, 38,890. Maybe watch for a break and retest along to continue the uptrend. We're in a bit of an uptrend. We have been since beginning of the year. And and we've got to break down through that pivot really to see a bit of a change, of trend. So until we break this area, well, basically break that 200 moving average, then we're still in an uptrend. So we're kind of looking for trend entries. So watch for a bounce at these levels, bounce at 38,500, 38,300, and then maybe the 38,800, almost that area there, break and retest. And then we'll look at Bitcoin, see where we are with that. This is a daily Bitcoin. So we have this bit of a squeeze, and then we saw it push up into volume, break into volume there, and then volume, increased volume on this sell-off for a few days, and now we've got decrease in volume. So if this is volume price analysis, decrease in volume usually means there's lack of interest from buyers. But we keep an eye, as I said, we're still above all the moving averages, and potentially if we can break out over that area, 43,800, then we could start looking at a double top coming into this area for a possible new high, or new, not an all-time high, but new recent high, or a double top. That's it really. My main focus will be the ES or the MES today, and I'll probably watch NASDAQ as well. And what I'm really watching for is the levels we discussed earlier, which I'm going to go through again. So I'm watching for a break and retest off the pre-market highs. So break, retest of that, with a potential target as all-time highs. That's my main watch. My next main watch will be a bounce around 49.60, this area here, for potential bounce. Again, we're in an uptrend still. If we zoom out, we've been in a big uptrend for some time now, and I want to play with the trend. Not sure where we're heading from there, whether we're going to pull back. This is an area on watch for a bounce as well. That's why I like that area for a bounce, 49.58, because it's off of the previous all-time highs, and hopefully it puts in a pivot there for us to push for another high. That's kind of what I'm playing for, but obviously I play the chart. And if I want to watch a rejection, then potential rejection off of this higher risk rejection off the all-time highs, and that'll be, we have to wait for confirmation with that. But just note, last few days we've had decline in volume. Let's go into the daily. How's it look on the daily? In fact, sustained volume actually. So above average volume, above average volume. So we see on the next few days, because there's no signs of it weakening on the daily. On the hourly, we've got slight decline in volume. That could just be resting for a bit. Okay, I think that's it really. That's the area I'm really watching for. If it comes back down to area, I'm looking to go long. Or if it breaks the pre-market highs, I'm looking to go long as well. So they're the two watches for me for today. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video helps you. Don't forget the like button and subscribe to get notification, and hit the subscribe button. And hopefully you'll get notified tomorrow when I do the next live video. Maybe a little bit late tomorrow, but it'll be 2 PM here in the UK or 9 AM Eastern time. But I should be back in time.